Welcome back to the Drone Deer Recovery Podcast. I'm Mike. This is my co-host, Kevin.
On today's episode, we talk about the craziness of what this week has been with drone deer recovery, some of the legal updates on what's happening in Michigan, some of the new channels that we're releasing, and crazy comments we've gotten over the week. You don't want to miss it. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Drone Deer Recovery Podcast. It is absolute nuts right now. The heat of season is here.
It is here.
Dude,
yep.
We're just rolling like nuts.
And we should say from the top, all of our plans for this podcast, we're just kind of throwing them out the window.
Yep. So we'll just be all over the place at this point.
So whether it's good or bad, we're going to be powered by Bubbler today. Because a couple guys, including Austin, he's behind the camera.
Yeah, he's behind the camera messing with that camera right now. Dude.
Literally no sleep.
Yeah, he texted me this morning at 5 o'clock. He's like, this is wild is an understatement or something like that. I'm like, now you are getting a taste of what it's like.
This is what you try to tell people.
Absolutely.
Mike, and they just think you're hyping it.
I'm not hyping it. So last Saturday, me and Wendell, I picked Wendell up because we went out to Hunt for Hope. They wanted drone deer recovery there to help with a young, what is it? It's basically a disability youth hunt where they take young folks out hunting for the first time, and they wanted us there to help with anything if they need.
Video coming soon.
Video is coming soon. If they end up putting bad shots on. So I picked up Wendell and I was like, this is where we're going. We didn't even end up going there. We went to one call right away. Then we went to Hunt for Hope, got that thing done, went to another call right after that. We ended up doing 11 calls that day from our office alone. And Wendell was looking at me. He's like, this is nuts. Like, this is wild. Like, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And those 11 calls, that's not our whole network of guys.
No.
That's just literally what our team here is doing. Drone Deer Recovery is doing.
Yeah, here in our area. And we are teaming up with subcontractors from our area because, we flooded the market and there's a bunch of guys around here. And there's guys around here that want to work with Drone Deer Recovery that are willing to not make all the dollars, and we send them leads. Dude, we're slamming them right now. So if you're local and you're listening to this and you're wanting to be our competition, don't be our competition. Just come help us because we got more than we can take. And so that's what we're dealing with. Right now, I think I'm working on four or six for tonight already.
Yeah.
And people haven't even gone hunting yet tonight.
Yep, it's going to be more that come in. So we should talk quickly about the map. And kind of if you've been to DroneDeerRecovery.com recently.
Yeah, definitely update them on what's coming there.
This probably is released, hopefully, by the time you're listening to this. But what you're going to see is a map with a bunch of dots of all kinds of thermal drone pilots. And what we're trying to do, Mike, is want to make it easy for hunters to find a pilot in their area.
Yeah.
Number one problem with the industry right now is people see what we do. They think, they think it's awesome.
Yep.
There's nobody in their area, or that's not easy to find them. Go to all these random Facebook groups and you don't know who you're dealing with.
Yeah. Yep.
Soon you'll be able to find every thermal drone pilot in your area on our website. It's going to be the best resource.
But they're not necessarily associated with drone deer recovery here in the main office. We are just trying to connect people that are coming to DroneDeerRecovery.com to connect them with a thermal pilot.
Unaffiliated third-party pilots.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the people that are going to that site still have to do their homework on the pilot that they're getting out. It's going to list their equipment.
100%.
And then call them, right? Call the pilot. See what type of experience he has. And, put some of your own homework in. Basically, what was happening is we had too many people coming and weren't able to.
Yep. And so people landing on the site, wanting to talk to one of the guys, it was like $200, $300 just in mileage.
Yeah, just in
trip
charge.
It was too much.
Yeah, for certain people. Like this guy I'm just working on right now in another state, they're willing to pay the trip charge. It doesn't matter.
Well, and
for certain deer.
If you're dealing with a big buck, sometimes you don't want the cheapest, closest guy. You want the guy with the most experience.
Yeah, you want a guy that knows what he's doing.
And so on the website, you'll be able to see what drone every pilot has. You'll be able to see, some of the drones that maybe can't fly in all weather like ours can.
Yep.
You know, maybe cheaper options, but you'll also be able to see very clearly who is the best option in your area.
Yep.
And be able to go.
Yeah.
direct
So
to them.
hopefully, when you guys are listening to this, that website will be up. If not, it's coming soon. I know you guys think like we drag this stuff out on purpose. We are not dragging it out on purpose. We're gonna throw this one on Kevin's shoulders because it's been a project.
It's a big it's a big shift, and it's what's needed. We're excited about it. It's working. Like you know. You're getting all these calls, like we've been trying to record this podcast, and it's just the phone rings nonstop.
It just keeps going. Yep.
But the thing is, those hunters, they want to talk to the pilot.
Yes.
You know, they want to know. You know, they want to talk to the guy coming out.
Yep.
That's the end of the story. So.
So and us selling drone kits has just been wild too, because with this new, this new release that we're doing, people now have a way to advertise to people that are already wanting to get a thermal pilot out. So if you guys are wanting to buy the equipment, I'm telling you, I'm not going to hype this up either. There is a battery shortage. So if you're wanting to buy a kit, you better get it now, because we don't know for sure what it will look like and how long it will last. So the people that are wanting to buy these Matrice 30Ts, you better get them now, because they'll be gone.
Yep, they'll be gone, and once they're gone, it's going to be a new batch that comes in from China. Manufacturing's having a hard time.
Basically, it's a world. It's not a world shortage. What did they say? So basically, the demand is so high, production cannot keep up with it.
Yep.
I mean that a lot of these are probably going to Ukraine. Literally, there's
Matrice 30Ts.
Yeah. They're going over there, and they are using them to do things that we would never be allowed to use them for here. Here's another call probably, and I'm not going to pick that up. Let's just flip it over so I don't even know that they're calling.
Self-restraint.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yep. So let's talk a little bit about some of the stories we got into that you guys are also going to be able to watch on the YouTube channel. But here you get to listen to it first. But last Saturday, we looked for 11 deer, and only 4 of them were actually dead. Like, we found them all, but they weren't all dead. That is what this technology is able to do, is find those deer even if they're not dead, and it gives the hunter closure on how bad is that deer hit.
Well, they have info to make better decisions. Like, they know how and when, like how to approach the situation. Yeah. And they aren't busting it off of their property to, they won't ever find it again.
They definitely won't push them off, because they can, they can see what's going on with the deer.
Yep.
So,
and this video's coming out soon. Some of those deer are gnarly looking.
Oh, it's pretty wild.
I'm going to call this one the Day of the Living Deer. That's what that video is going to be called. Dude. And those deer, it's like they're almost like zombie. Like, they are tough animals.
We're trying to come up with a name for them. Like, they're more than a veteran. They're like a warrior.
These things are like they're from indestructible. They're like one level down. I mean, I'm newer to the hunting industry, to hunting. I've ever only shot one deer who was a 4-pointer.
Yeah. Wow. Big 4-pointer.
Yeah, I got it on my table. I'll show you sometime.
Okay. At least you started small, because if you shoot a big buck your very first time, it's hard to outdo that. And I'm being serious. Like, some guys go out there and get lucky and shoot a big one, and then it's hard for them to top that. But if you shot a 4-pointer, you definitely got room to grow there.
My father-in-law took me hunting. He handed me this gun and said, "Here's how you pull the trigger, safety, whatever."
So a little bit of schooling, and then there you went.
A little bit of schooling. Never shot the gun before. First bullet I ever shot out of that gun, through the heart of a buck.
Wow,
dropped dead. Wouldn't have even needed drone deer recovery.
Yeah, you wouldn't need that. But it doesn't always happen like that.
Doesn't always happen. Well, but every time I've hunted, it's happened like that.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm one of those.
But you hunt it once, so let's not get too carried away.
I have 100%. I'm one of those people that could leave a nasty comment. Kind of.
Oh yeah, because you always put good shots on them.
Every single shot I've done has been good.
You could do that, but you're probably not going to do that, right?
Well, no, it's not how I roll. But I'm just saying.
So for some of the people that are listening to us for the very first time, they're like, "Who are these guys?" Or what is drone deer recovery? Yeah. What is drone deer recovery? Do you know?
Yeah. Well.
Go ahead. Tell.
So drone deer recovery is 13 months old.
Yep.
And it's.
I mean, it's just,
drone deer recovery mostly by the face of Mike. Let's be honest.
Okay.
So drone deer recovery is Mike, and then now we have a whole team of people behind Mike that make a lot of things happen in the background.
Yep. So what it is we use thermal imaging drones to locate the heat of a carcass, and then we have a 200 times zoom camera that we zoom in to look at that carcass or that deer, and you can tell us if that is the deer you hit or not.
You know, and there's so many different, like, you know, thermal technology is relatively new, but I think what we did in the beginning, what we did well is we thought, let's use the very top end technology. And there's so much, like, even right now this season, there's so much miseducation about how these drones are scaring the deer and all of this stuff. And what people don't understand is from 400 feet, you can identify the specific wound of a deer, see if it's your deer.
I was doing one for an outfitter. He's had us out twice now to help with his clients, and he's just like, this is unbelievable. Do you know what he said? He's seen our ad in the paper, and he said, I don't know if we can say it. He was like, it's that's what he said. He seriously thought that there is no way that a drone can find a wounded deer. He told me that right to my face. He's like, Mike, I thought it's complete. So
AI generated image.
So last night that client looked at that image and he's just like, Mike, I'm done with dogs. Like this makes sense. But he thought by our paper ad, because it is so new, right? It's so advanced. That's like, there's no way that drones can do this.
And he's not even seeing the HD thermal image.
I pulled the HD. I pulled the HD camera out, and he's like, "No way." I'm like, "Yeah, way."
It's a whole other level than what you guys have seen so far from us. It's coming.
It's coming. There's going to be some cool HD thermal stuff coming. What else do you got?
Well, so let's talk about who we are as a company, though. It's like, you know, what we want to do is you know, we sell drones, we provide a fantastic service, we create a lot of media, but really, I think one of the things that we want to do is move the whole industry forward.
Yes.
So there's lots of states like Illinois, Michigan, New York. For some of those people who are just jumping on, you know, seeing us for the first time, we're suing the state of Michigan.
And we're going full steam forward. We should probably
one of these next podcasts, we'll have our attorney on.
We should probably talk about that a little bit. Basically, do we want to talk about the Michigan thing? Because he said we're allowed.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Why
Basically,
not?
a lot of you guys have heard or watched the YouTube video, and you want updates. So the update is this: is we are still continuing to push the the suing forward, whatever you want to call it.
We are pushing the suing forward, guys.
But there is also some big news coming that there are state representatives from Michigan trying to put in a new bill to make it very clear that thermal drones can be used for carcass recovery in the state of Michigan. So if you're listening to this or you're watching it on YouTube, reach out to your state representative. And basically say, hey, there's this new technology. Make sure to share the YouTube channel with them, because that is how they're finding out about the technology. Share that with them and tell them that this is a vital tool in the sportsman's bag. So the state reps are listening to us, because you spoke to one in Illinois.
A couple guys from Illinois, from Michigan. It's like, this is gaining traction. People are becoming aware of it. It's possible that what the state is actually going to do is just stall on the lawsuit. You know, just stall, and then eventually introduce the regulation that we actually want them to introduce.
And our attorney made us aware of that. He's like, there are times that when a company moves forward like we are to sue, then they pass legislation to, get it to be clear of how it should be used. And then,
which ultimately, I mean, it's still a win for hunters in Michigan. That's ultimately what we want, is just for this to be regulated and legal, and for these carcasses not to go lost. And our Illinois video getting a ton of traction. It's actually funny reading through the comments how many people see our I probably read 20 comments of people saying your company is a joke. Because the only thing that they see is that one video where we're, drone deer recovery, and we did a skit.
We did a skit where basically how they're interpreting it, because you can't fly your thermal drone over your property. Like, it's one of those things that if you want to take a thermal scan of your pond, see how hot the pond is, right?
Yeah, well, actually, Illinois specifically, like, they have laws that are so draconian, like so far out, that you literally cannot have any infrared, thermal, or any other, even a light source. So actually, in the state of Illinois, it's illegal to fly a drone at night with a beacon over an area where there may be wildlife. So if you wanted to search for your dog,
that's
you wanted to
so
search for your
ridiculous.
dog or a lost child in the woods, for you to use thermal or just even a spotlight or even just a beacon on your drone,
they're saying that's illegal.
It's illegal.
Okay, screw that. Make sure to reach out to your Illinois state reps. Tell them that this is complete, bogus, that they have those laws, and get it changed. Just tell them that this is what you need.
And any state reps out there, you can call Mike or myself. You can email us. There's a lot of questions, a lot of education that we're doing, like, here's how do you avoid harassment of animals, all these different things.
Yeah.
And when you compare them to like the harassment of animals that happens with dogs and the way that wildlife is disrupted, once people understand, it's a very, I think the path forward to getting laws updated and changed, I think it's inevitable. But again, sometimes states can take an awfully long time just to make a reasonable change in the laws. So.
I started zoning there. I think I'm a little short on sleep, but not as much short. Are you sleeping? Did you almost fall asleep?
I'm not. Your guys are interesting, but it's challenging.
This is raising the bar on us.
Yep. I know that a lot of people want to hear stories of drone deer recovery when we are out doing like searches.
Yeah.
So. We should probably give them a couple stories.
Let's give them a couple stories, and then we'll jump into the final segment here.
Okay, and what's the final segment?
16 minutes in.
Oh, okay. Well, we got time then.
Okay.
Look at that.
We got
16
lots
minutes
of time.
in. Yeah, let's give us some stories. So, Mike, what are some of the stories?
Some of the stories that stick in my mind are when you find a deer for somebody and they've just basically given up. Like that, we didn't tell them much about the recovery I did where I was yelling so much. You guys haven't seen the footage, but the recovery, it went like this. The hunter was in his hunting blind. His hit buck came in. He said he was all shook up by the time he got there because he watched him come all the way across a food plot.
He's shaking at that point.
And he's like, takes a shot and feels good about it, like a good shot. Went out, can't find his arrow, and started tracking, can't find blood. And he's convinced he hit this thing. He was so convinced he took a string trimmer into his food plot and like string trimmed everything down to the ground, took a rake and was raking.
Wow, this guy's intense.
Yeah, he was trying to find his arrow.
Yeah.
To see what what he hit. And long story short is this. I was flying for, I think it was an hour and a half to 2 hours with Austin filming. He was like, okay, I give up. He's like, I'm done. You're not going to find this deer. And I put one set of batteries in. I was like, let me fly this one more different direction, basically make sure that there's nothing there. I took this thing off, and there he was right in the area I was searching, but I did not, I was at a different angle. Originally, then looking at the footage, I would have found it in 4 minutes. It was like 4 minutes, 30 seconds. But that feeling, right? Helping that hunter, he just went nuts because he had given up completely. He was like, we're not going to find...
Lowest of lows to the highest of high.
Yep. We're not going to find this deer. And then just like that, boom. It's one of his most meaningful bucks because he had this hunting land, made it his own, not a lot of land, but he was able to get that buck off his land. It was so cool.
That's amazing. Yep. And I mean, the video that we released last night, which would have been on a Tuesday, the hunter was actually crying. I mean, he was emotional. It was like, it meant so much to him to find it. So every buck has a story.
Yep. Every deer, absolutely. Every deer has a story. Yeah. It's so cool. On the technology side of things, it is the most advanced thing that we have seen in the hunting industry, probably since cell cams. I totally believe that for sure.
Yeah. Yep. It's here to stay. Yep.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely not going anywhere. I'm also looking at being on a few different podcasts, big podcasts, podcasts that you guys have already heard. The Fall podcast just released a new one. I think they probably released it either today or tomorrow. The Fall podcast with Aaron Blicey. Make sure to listen to that. That's a good podcast. And then I'm looking at being on the Hunter podcast. And then also Working Class Bow Hunter podcast. So those podcasts are coming.
Yep.
Like it's a little different because they're asking me questions so I can go deeper into areas where I don't even think about it. So like now we're thinking about stories, but if you ask me a specific question, then I can address that question. So those podcasts can be really interesting. Make sure to check those out.
Yep. Yep. And so this might be a good time, Mike, to talk about some of the new channels we have on YouTube, some of the different stories and content we're putting out there. You want to tell us about those?
Yeah, so there's 2 more YouTube channels that we've started. One is called New Way Ag, and that's spelled NUWAYAG, New Way Ag. And we're separating these companies. And the other company is called Drone Pet Recovery. The reason we are changing that, another drone deer recovery. 1 second there, guy. We'll get right back to you. Sorry about that. Drone Pet Recovery. The reason we started that division is because we're getting so many lost dogs, lost cats, lost anything of a pet. I mean, it can be a raccoon, a tortoise, a steer bull, or something like that. I mean, and so now we have, drone deer recovery, drone pet recovery, and New Way Ag. New Way Ag is agricultural drone spraying. That we basically, I want to make it an easy source for you, the folks listening and watching, an easy way for you to get into the agricultural drone spraying operation. And so we will have that dialed in. It's not quite dialed in yet, but it will get there to when you want to get into it, you can get in touch with us.
And we just thought we had a conversation right before we started recording here. A gentleman drove up, wanted to meet us in person, talk about ag, talk about, running his own spray rig. The learning curve on ag is unlike anything with thermal drone.
Oh, yeah.
It's a whole other level, not just the regulation, but just like what you need to know to operate this safely.
Efficiency is a big thing with agricultural drones. Right?
You've got a really restricted, so you can make a ton of money or you can lose money, and it's all based on how efficient you can be.
Yeah.
And that really, for the ag side of things, that is what is driving all of what we're doing in ag is we're setting up a more efficient way from beginning to end on how to operate that.
It's like I want to, just like here at Drone Deer Recovery, you guys watched us, you listened to us, and you wanted to do thermal drone carcass recovery, and it's showing. Like, people are actually successfully doing it after watching us, and I want to do that in the ag, but there's a lot more to learn in ag. So being able to sell you everything to where you come to us, we can train you, you hook up to your trailer, and you leave, and you are, you got everything you need to go out there and do agricultural drone spraying. Yeah,
and it should also be said maybe that on the ag side, you can have single kind of pilot operations who are out there just in the field spraying and stuff, but if you want to go big time, you got to have a whole team of people that kind of help support the operation. And
if you want to cover, thousands of acres, you're gonna want to have a complete kit. I hear the Drone Deer phone ringing. Are you getting that, Austin? Nope, no pressure.
So on those channels, guys, already a couple of videos on each one of them. By the time you see this, more videos will be added weekly, both on the pet side, and let me just a plug on the pet side is, as hunters and stuff, it's fun to see the stories behind these deer and what it means to hunters. But there's this whole other new world of stories with pet owners. And you just let your dog in here, and he was French poodle. It's
a French poodle. Oh, no. That's the new breed. You better watch yourself. If you say that, French poodle, these Amish folks here are going to be breeding French poodles. No, it's a French bulldog.
French bulldog. So, it's like you've had him a number of years, right?
Yeah.
And part of the family, it's like if that thing, if he ran out into the woods, you would
I would definitely
find him. Yeah.
I'd definitely go try to find him.
There's a whole new kind of world of, ways that we can help these pet owners.
Yes.
And our craziest call so far was in Brooklyn, right?
Did we go find that thing?
So what happened was, got a call, and there's apartment buildings all around a block. In the middle of a block is a park. And I was like, surely the airspace is not going to be clean. We're not going to be able to go fly it. Well, it was actually in that specific space. It was clear airspace. Fly at 400 feet, no problem. So he was going to pay $900 to have a pilot come out and look in the trees for where this cat might be. I mean, I'm talking like one city block.
Yeah.
And ended up. The cat just came home before night, so we didn't have to go out then. But man, these animals, they mean a ton to the owner,
and they're willing to pay. So So make sure to check out those channels if you're into agricultural. New Way Ag, that channel will be getting new content. We're hoping to do it once a week. I don't know how it's going to all work out there. But I want to fill you guys in on some of the stuff here yet that you're going to want to make sure you tune in to the Drone Data Recovery YouTube channel. We found our third. He's in the top 3 biggest bucks. Just the other night, I ended up sleeping in my truck that night because I had another call first thing in the morning. It did not make sense after I got done with that call to come all the way home and then go back out. So we got another 200-inch deer that we were able to find with these thermal drones, and I don't think you're gonna want to miss that thing. That's coming to the channel. It's gonna be good. What else should we throw in this thing? I'm slipping.
So Mike needs some sleep. How about we wrap it up with ground chatter? Ground chatter is our segment you might see on every podcast. It's just where we respond to some of the comments.
Oh, you have that?
Yeah, don't know what they are, but yeah, Austin has something for us. Austin,
you have something for us?
Let's roll it.
Okay, Austin, just be nice on us. Like last. Okay. How'd you get this stuff?
All right. I'll read this out loud. I've been hunting a specific buck for 3 years. He always seems to disappear for a while after shedding velvet. Would love to locate him and verify he's alive. I have passed up several legitimate hammers holding out for one specific buck. It's an urban setting. This buck spends half his life in town and half outside the city limits. And I truly believe he would rank among the largest bucks you've ever searched. My guess is a 215 to 220.
It's a big buck. Good
It's
luck.
a big buck,
But
yeah.
I'm not coming out to try to find him because I don't want to do that. I just don't want to be doing that.
It's not what we do.
No, yeah.
It's not what we do. It's not right. It's like, we'll never do that. And we don't see your response here, but you've, very politely told him, in no way is this something that we would ever do.
Yeah. Yep. Unfortunately, it's just something that I have no desire to get involved in.
No desire. And every professional pilot out there, for the sake of this industry, just don't do anything like it. Like anything like this, in my opinion, it becomes scouting, aiding in the hunt, all of that stuff, all of what people are worried about, stuff like this. So to the hunter, I don't know what he was thinking, it's just
maybe he
not
didn't
okay.
know. Maybe he didn't know.
Yeah, give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
He didn't know.
Yeah, just we're not doing
Never, no way, no how, not going to happen.
it. Yep, not doing it. Is that it? Oh. You guys should do a live podcast so people can interact with you guys live one night. We're talking about that. We're kind of testing this system right now because Austin's over there flipping through different camera angles. So we did talk about it. We probably will go live at some point, and then we'll try to just respond to your guys' comments.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have some
I don't. We're gonna have to cut this thing short. I keep getting drone deer recovery.
all right, moving on to the next one, Austin.
Should I pick this up or no?
Nope.
Okay.
You can wait 3 minutes.
Okay.
Ruin
That's
the industry now.
legitimately the third or fourth call.
This guy says, ruined industry now. Glad I sold my thermal drones. Was utilizing drone thermal recovery back with the DJI Inspire with the FLIR 336 in 2017. The market is saturated now with drone idiots.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, we kind of did saturate the market. That's all right.
Yeah.
Cream will rise to the top.
Cream will rise to the top, and the demand for it is growing along with the supply, I think, in a lot of markets. So, okay. Yeah, thanks for your comment. Always a joy reading comments like this. Appreciate you. Wish you the best.
I like Mike doing this. Okay. I like Mike doing this. Good one.
I think Mike, people just like seeing you get
I
pumped
appreciate
up.
that. Yeah.
Like you really care about these recoveries.
Hey,
I
will say, if you guys are listening to this and you guys watch us and you do see me out on the road or at a gas station or something, like come up and say hi. Like it's all right. I'm busy, but just let's say hi. How's it going? And I'll keep going. Because I had a guy walk up to me at the gas station and he's kind of like, it felt like he maybe shouldn't interfere because I'm shooting, but you know what? I appreciate you guys watching. When I say that, I'm sincere about that because you guys could watch anything else. There's like how many millions of hours of footage or minutes are
uploaded every day. Yeah. Yep. It's crazy.
Yeah, uploaded to YouTube, and you guys choose to watch me. So I appreciate you guys. And if you want, come over, say hi.
Yeah, it means the world to us. Yep.
Yeah, it totally does.
And we're having so much fun, like filming these, producing these. And this week we released an episode with an intro based on the feedback you gave us last week.
Yeah.
So
we're definitely listening.
we're listening. So keep telling us what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see, new ideas. We'll get them done. So
Absolutely.
appreciate everybody watching. I think it's been a good episode.
Yeah, this is all we got for you guys on this week's episode, but it's going to keep stacking up. As you guys tell us what you want us to talk about, we'll keep bringing that stuff. But it's keeping my mind straight right now because I'm over here thinking about all these drone deer recovery calls that are coming in, scheduling, getting pilots out there, working with subcontractors and all that stuff. So, but we're still wanting to bring this stuff to you because it's like happening right now. This is the real deal.
So it's only going to get wilder.
Yes.
It's going to be a fun ride.
Yep.
Appreciate
and the Bucks
you
are
watching.
moving. The Bucks are on the move here in Ohio, so it's going to get really crazy.
So let's end with this. I think it would be awesome if to hear what kind of guests people would like on this podcast.
I guess.
Yeah, what kind of guests? For us to have
I'm
conversations
going
with
to guess it'll be a dog guy. That's just me.
a dog guy.
Yeah.
It'd be an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
So hit us up who you think we should have on the podcast, and we'll see if we can't make it happen.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cheers.
We'll see you later.